Oh, shit.
These likes run up these likes. Listen, man, this is some of the nastiest stuff I've seen this year. I ain't even gonna lie to you. So a lot of y'all may or may not know that Trappler Ross, one of the biggest FBI agents on the internet, who has got countless, and I mean countless rappers locked up for the rest of their lives, made an entire documentary yesterday, which is about 2.5 hours long, about NBA YoungBoy's alleged 19 bodies. He says that he has all the answers that the feds have been looking for and more stuff. Well, the crazy thing that nobody's talking about is how the day before that entire documentary released, NBA YoungBoy was talking about deleting himself. And people were saying that NBA YoungBoy was trolling. He was just saying this because he wanted attention. No, he wasn't, champ. NBA YoungBoy knows that Trap Ross was dropping this documentary because it's only gonna get NBA YoungBoy put in a RICO case. That's how. And somebody close to NBA YoungBoy might have relayed this information to somebody because they talk too damn much, possibly. But this is just a series of tweets and I guess one Instagram story that YoungBoy has posted. I mean, right here it says, I want to drop I want to drop the album then die. You'll never find another. All right? This is what he wrote. He said my life is literally perfect. I'm just not happy. It's me. And then the last thing he posted was a goddamn picture of Chris Benoit. And if you know who this guy is, you know that this man unalived not only himself but his entire family because he had CTE. This is nasty work. Now, I'm only assuming because there's no such thing as coincidences that NBA YoungBoy knew about the documentary coming out. And this is why NBA YoungBoy was considering doing something insanely drastic like deleting himself from reality because he's not happy because people like Trap Ross are trying to get him locked up. Now, I hear bozos saying, oh, well, Trap Ross is only trying to protect people. Protect who? The guy is a sadist, bro. The guy is an insane sadist. He gets off on other people's pain. The guy has a tattoo of King Von behind one of his legs and all of the bodies that King Von caught. He has an obsession for street business and people catching bodies. This is something that he's into. And then a video from yesterday that Trap Ross dropped is kind of just cringeworthy and weird. It's weird. Okay? And if you just join in, make sure you smashing the like button. But like I said, NBA YoungBoy was considering taking his own livelihood away. All right? He was considered, this is the day before this documentary dropped, which means he already knew about it to some degree. Because Trap Ross took a great deal of time to create this disgusting documentary. And if you have not seen this documentary, I'm gonna let y'all see for a second what the documentary looks like. All right, just for a second, I'm gonna show you the documentary a little bit. It's 2 hours long. I'm not showing y'all the whole thing. I'm gonna show y'all a little portion of it, just to show y'all how nasty this actually is. All right, listen. Let me show y'all what's going on here. So, let me fix my screen. Yeah. So yeah, this happened. First of all, look at the very beginning of this video, bro. This guy has these sex, money, murder flags. If you don't know about these green flags represent Pistol Pete, who is the OG and the creator of Sex, Money, Murder, which is a blood gang set out of the UBN, which is the United Blood Nation, created in New York City in 1993. This is the green flag, the light green flag for Sex, Money, Murder. That's a blood set in New York, which a lot of people are part of. Young Thug is a Sex, Money, Murder member. And so are a lot of other rappers like 21 Savage and a lot of people. Even I know some members of this gang. Either way, point being, why does he have these things on? What is the purpose of you having? Like, you're weird, bro. You're a weirdo. Like, he's so happy that he thinks he has this information by running this narrative that NBA YoungBoy has 19 bodies and he claims to know all of the 19 bodies. This doesn't make it fact. But what people need to understand, because I don't think people realize, is that narratives is what creates RICOs. When RICOs are created, it doesn't have to be a factual RICO. The only reason why RICOs are usually successful is because people tell. That's the only reason. Do you know how many biker gangs get put into RICOs and the RICO isn't successful? Because nobody in the gang is talking. They're not saying anything. You can't have a successful RICO without a rat. Somebody has to tell, or the RICO is really not a goal, unless they have substantial information to book you with. If they don't really have substantial information, they can't tie you to anything, then the RICO is not successful. But like I said, RICOs usually start because of a rat. 10 times out of 10. That Ninja Red says these nerds that want to be hard are the so-called man but ain't about no goddamn action. Trap LaRoche is straight B-made and has 304 type skills. Trap LaRoche needs to be deleted. Oh, champ. Maybe you're right. Maybe you're right, champ. Because this is nasty. I'm gonna play it in a second. Salute to the homie Izzy to go in the building as well. You heard? Listen. Just take a look at this real quick.
If I told you NBA YoungBoy had 19 people killed, would you believe me? Right now, nobody has a bigger buzz in the rap game than YoungBoy. His Massa tour reportedly grossed over $70 million and is on track to be one of the top 10 earning rap tours in American history. Only the realist YoungBoy fans would know that YoungBoy hadn't touched a stage since March 2020, right before the lockdowns begun, when his Still Flexin' Still Steppin' tour was cut short after the second stop in Los Angeles. Unfortunately, by the end of 2020, when the rest of the world was being let out, YoungBoy was being put on a different kind of lockdown. He spent the last 5 years in and out of prison and on house arrest, unable to perform, but also making him impossible to kill. But despite all the rumors, he's never actually been charged with murder. He famously caught double attempted murder charges in 2016, attempting to avenge his murdered cousin Boozilla. In his most recent stretch, he spent just under a year behind bars after pleading guilty to numerous charges, including federal gun charges stemming from a heavily armed music video gone wrong, as well as state charges for a devious plot that saw YoungBoy and his friends impersonating doctors in an effort to get their hands on unlimited prescription pills and drank in the state of Utah. These efforts at putting together a drill rapper starter pack robbed YoungBoy of 5 years of his freedom, but between jail stints, he was on house arrest, forced to do nothing but fight his depression, pop pills, and make some of the most groundbreaking gangster rap that had ever been made. YoungBoy was prolific with his releases while on house arrest and in jail, releasing 7 albums and 7 mixtapes, all of this while battling for his freedom, meaning that even behind bars, within just a few years, YoungBoy's work rate had surpassed many of the biggest artists in the world entire careers. But this year, in 2025, he walked free from the federal FCI Talladega prison, getting an early release in March, with one of his conditions being a whopping 60 months of strict probation. And despite his official rap sheet of serious crimes and unofficial title of the Murder Man of Baton Rouge, in May 2025, he inexplicably received a presidential pardon from the Slimander-in-Chief himself, Donald Trump. Apparently, this was the direct result of lobbying carried out by political heavyweight DJ Akademiks, who was the one who asked Trump's son to pardon YoungBoy during a campaign stream.
A lot of people are asking, there's a guy who's a beloved,
He didn't want to see that man free. Let's be real. You just want him back in jail. You said they couldn't prove that he did any of these said murders, so therefore you have to be the one to try to find out if he's responsible for him. It's kind of crazy. Salute to Boss Tweed, man. He says we really got to find a way to keep these lames out the culture. Unfortunately, we can't. It's the damage is done, There's nothing we can do now. The damage is done. Truthfully, there's nothing we can do because, again, the culture is ran by young people. We're outnumbered, champ. The older people don't really give a damn. And there's nothing you can do, champ. I mean, hip-hop culture is literally destroyed. It's been destroyed for a long time now. So, truthfully, there's nothing we can do. I mean, me speaking the truth means absolutely nothing, to be honest. Salute to Fran Lynn, who says, this guy's a whole weirdo, creepy. An insane weirdo. He's insanely weird. Like, very weird. Very weird. Izzy the Goat says Trap LaRoche needs to get put in a vulture pack. Listen, a lot of things need to happen. A lot of things need to happen. This is beyond nasty. I mean, NBA YoungBoy is free. NBA YoungBoy is not committing crimes. But here goes Trap LaRoche trying to find out if he committed crimes or not. This is what Trap LaRoche is known for doing, and plenty of people have gotten locked up because of Trap LaRoche. From West Coast rappers to rappers that are in London. There was a rapper who turned his entire life around. And I guess he got involved with animals or something. He became like some type of wildlife guy or something along those lines. Trap LaRoche says, oh, that's cool that you try to change your life around. But champ, I think I know about a murder you committed way back when. And you know that guy's doing life in prison. So again, Trap LaRoche is the one who's trying to find whatever crimes that you committed or thinks you committed and trying to get you locked up for it. Once again, when it comes to the Ricos though, Ricos can be built from this video alone, champ. This video alone can get NBA YoungBoy locked up again. Yes. All it takes is a video, champs. I don't think people realize how significant a video on YouTube is when it comes to people being indicted. Did you know how significant these videos are? I don't think y'all realize Trap LaRoche got multiple rappers locked up already by his videos. His videos being used to lock people up. Facts. Y'all think these videos don't mean nothing? Y'all think the feds are not watching these things? You're crazy. They're not about to work extra hard when somebody's doing the work for them. They're gonna try to take the easy way out. They working smarter, not harder. But this is a very nasty documentary for no reason. This is somebody trying to clout off of a dude who just had a very successful tour, who's really just minding his business because YoungBoy been minding his goddamn business. But again, you have vultures that come around and they try to do very nasty things like this just because they get a kick out of getting people locked up, like Trap LaRoche, because Trap LaRoche is a sadist. He enjoys to see people in pain. And NBA YoungBoy just dropped some very troubling tweets the day before this documentary dropped, which would suggest that YoungBoy is considering deleting himself because he's not happy. And it's more than likely due to the fact that he knows that Trap LaRoche is creating a narrative that's going to get him picked up by the feds. Smash that like, gang.
He's just a misunderstood guy, actually. His name is NBA YoungBoy. If Trump gets back in office and this guy's locked up, we got to throw him to the top of the party. Come on.
This presidential pardon cleared the path for YoungBoy to have a fresh start, not just getting back his freedom, but freeing him from any probation or restrictions that would have prevented him from flying around America or the world on tour. And he would return almost 5 years on from his cancelled 2020 tour in 2025, embarking on his Make America Slime Again tour in honor of Donald Trump. His shows would go from theaters that at their largest held a few thousand people to selling out almost 20,000 person venues like the Crypto Arena, and reportedly making anywhere from $800,000 to close to $2 million per show, and releasing 2 more full-length albums before the tour even ended, and cementing his place as perhaps the most successful street rapper of all time, with an estimated 31 million albums sold, over 48 billion streams, and a whopping 41 full-length projects in his catalog at the time of recording. But behind the success, there's a dark secret. YoungBoy was rumored to have been able to make as much as $100 million per year from his insanely successful gangster rap career. Numbers that frankly many people would kill for, or perhaps—
Bro, this is weird, bro. You are a weirdo. You're weird. You're weird. Why do you have on a Sex Money Murder bandana? Why is this guy making content? and like, it's weird, bro. Like, you have all intent to just bring this man down with things that you can't prove is true, by the way. You're saying that this guy's responsible for these bodies, and you have found these 19 bodies that NBA YoungBoy are responsible for, according to you. But you're trying to dress like you got a Chucky doll. Like, you're weird. Bro, you sus. You have an obsession with people passing away. You have an obsession with street stuff that don't got nothing to do with you. And now you think you done solve these crimes. Well, champ, you're not the goddamn FBI for starters, and you're not an investigator. You're a YouTube guy who enjoys incriminating people with narratives. A lot of these guys that come on YouTube doing this type of content, use narratives and not facts. But the nasty part is narratives can also be used in court. And that's just a fact. You see what happened with that no jumper Rico. A lot of that stuff came from the podcast, came from viral moments on the pod. And people got locked up for it. There's people in the Rico right now. Someone about to do life. There's people that's about to do life sentences behind no jumper. So if that can happen to no jumper, what the hell you think gonna happen when it comes to content creators like Trav LaRose putting out this type of content? Yeah, this is disgusting, bro. I'm gonna be honest.
In this case, kill to protect. Like many gangster rappers in this generation, YoungBoy has been accused of having people murdered. In this case, over a dozen people have allegedly been murdered in order to protect his 9-figure gangster rap empire. Actually, it's less that he's been accused of organizing over a dozen murders, more like he's actually confessed to organizing over a dozen murders. With numerous lyrics over the years, seeing YoungBoy rapping about murder and references to a body count that seemed to grow year by year, from at least one alleged body in the mid-2010s when he first started rapping only age 16, to seemingly confessing to having 3 bodies and subtracting 2 attempts or lost.
So you using this song lyric, nigga, all the man rap about is this type of stuff. You said you compiled the lyrics over a certain amount of years and using it to say, well, he's confessed in these songs to these 19 bodies and I think I've solved them. Like, what type of nonsense is this? Since when do we go to people's records, go to the lyrics, compile the lyrics, and think we've made a connection here? And why are you doing it? Yo, this is disgusting content, bro. I'm gonna be honest to tell you that this is very, very nasty content, bro. This is disgusting. So this is what you've done. This is what you've accumulated here. You've made sure you've compiled years of lyrics, and you think you've gathered some substantial information that will connect him to 19 bodies that you believe that he's responsible for. Crazy. With no proof. Champs, no proof.
Is around 2019 to shockingly claiming at least 3 times to have a total of 7 bodies by 2020. His kill count would appear to rise to 12 plus a child by 2022. By March 2024, he was claiming to be responsible for 15 murders, and apparently he would reach a grand total of 19 bodies by June 2024.
Imagine being able to build an app with your name
My
on
bad,
it
gang.
just by thinking about it.
You got
Meet
ads.
Base 44.
Anyway, back to this dumb video.
Baton Rouge police are looking into a deadly shooting that claimed the life of a local rapper.
When an unknown suspect in a red Chevy Trailblazer
G wasn't quick enough.
The shooting death of a local rapper.
Baton Rouge police say the local rapper was shot and killed at his home at Lakeside Villa Apartments on Wellwood Drive after midnight.
The deadly shooting of a student walking home from school.
New details surrounding a violent crime that happened here around 7:15 Saturday night.
Police are trying to get to the bottom of a drive-by shooting in Baton Rouge.
Police say someone shot Jason Nixon several times.
Hey, look, hanging out the one that's trying to flood them on the interstate.
Today, Baton Rouge police named the 2 people killed on River.
Yo, bro, you know how many people get smoked in Baton Rouge? Bro swears up and down. Oh man, 19 bodies. He could have been talking about girls. I don't think he was talking about girls though. I ain't gonna lie. That man is a gangster rapper, bro. He's talking about drills, but just because he said talking about drills doesn't mean that these are the actual drills. He's saying that these Baton Rouge murders are connected to Wabi. He's saying that these Baton Rouge murders are connected to Wabi, and he's counting them up. He said, "Oh, this is YoungBoy. This is young, bro. You don't got no proof of this." But this is a very nasty thing you're doing, by the way.
Road last night.
2 people were killed and 2 others were sent to a hospital. We now know the name of the person killed in a shooting in Baton Rouge.
Police say 24-year-old Deontay Veal was shot and killed.
Investigators say 23-year-old Tremaine Phillips died.
Breaking tonight, 1 person dead after a shooting on Sherwood Common Boulevard. Person shot and killed along North Acadian. 30-year-old Jawan Alisi was shot to death.
No, that ain't my work, man.
They are looking for information on the shooting death of this man here.
And this isn't some huge secret. In fact, I discussed in my previous video, YoungBoy, real killer or fake gangster, which I made a couple years ago when his body count was still at 12. But the truth is, YoungBoy isn't the person pulling the triggers and committing these murders personally. He openly raps about contracting killers over 7 times, never even seeing the face of the people doing the hits, although his 2016 double attempted murder charges would prove that he's clearly capable of pulling the trigger if it came to it. In efforts to prevent him bailing out on his prior charges, the FBI have openly labeled YoungBoy as the known leader of a violent Louisiana gang. And the truth is, he is literally surrounded by shooters at all times. With an
bro. What? Salute to Mystery Monk with $5 to town taxes. Says rat moron is gullible. YB took more people's breath away than cigarettes. LOL. Okay. Salute you for paying them town taxes, keeping the IRS off your back. Listen, man. This is weird, bro. Like, why are you so thirsty to get this man locked up? BNZ says he act like YoungBoy can't tell a lie, and he can tell a lie. It's possible. Salute to Monique Hill in the chat, by the way. But, bro, why are you so thirsty to get this man locked up? He's minding his goddamn business. Said, I have found that there is more murders connected to YoungBoy. Like, shut up, nigga. Shut up. You're weird. And why are you out on the sex money murder flags? Why? This is weird, man. I'm just saying, this is very cringe behavior.
Number of the most notorious shooters in the South being affiliated with his NBA or Never Broke Again record label and his alleged 4K Trey street gang and their allies state to state, meaning that wherever YoungBoy goes, he's accompanied by countless crash outs who are ready and willing to shoot and catch bodies to protect YoungBoy and his multi-million-dollar interests. So in this video, I'll answer once and for all, are all of these murders and murderers the secret ingredient to YoungBoy's gangster rap empire? Does YoungBoy really need shooters around him at all times to make sure he stays alive and that his rivals die early, or is he destined to meet the same fate as his biggest rival, Lil Durk, and eventually going to get taken down by the feds, who might well still be at this very second working tirelessly to solve these murders while he's reaching the peak of his career? Well, in this video, I have...
You got what?
All of the answers.
Nah. Y'all heard what this nigga said? Hold on, man. Hold on, this is crazy. Say that one more time, champ. This is some insane federal behavior for no reason. This guy gets off on this nonsense. What did you say, champ? Say it again.
All of these murders and murderers, the secret ingredient to YoungBoy's gangster rap empire. Does YoungBoy really need shooters around him at all times to make sure he stays alive and that his rivals die early, or is he destined to meet the same fate as his biggest rival, Lil Durk, and eventually going to get taken down by the feds, who might well still be at this very second working tirelessly to solve these murders while he's reaching the peak of his career? Well, in this video, I have all of the answers, as I'll reveal one by one.
What? You got all the answers, huh, champ? You're basically saying you're gonna help the feds solve these crimes and connect them to YoungBoy. This is what you're saying. He's saying this verbatim. The feds have been working tirelessly, but I have the answers. Like, shut up, nigga. You think you James Bond, nigga? Shut up. This is crazy, bro. Like, this is nasty work, bro. Like, this gotta stop. This gotta stop, bro. This gotta stop. This is nasty, man. This is nasty. Monique Hill says, and people think they can walk the planet with all this on their soul. They have some spiritual things that they will have coming now. Trap LaRose gets off on this. He loves this nonsense, bro. He loves this nonsense.
One, the gruesome truth behind each and every one of YoungBoy's alleged 19 murder victims, which have never before been identified publicly until now.
Alleged. Oh, now you want to say alleged. You ain't say alleged this entire video, but now 6 minutes in, you want to say, oh, YoungBoy's alleged bodies. Nigga, you're creating a narrative that would lead the feds to try to track him to it. They would try to trace him to these bodies. You're literally doing that, by the way. That's disgusting.
Legato cinematic strength. Ooh, hold on.
Yeah. I'm gonna watch a little bit more of this. I'm gonna turn this nonsense off. I ain't gonna lie.
But before we go any further, I just want to warn you, this video contains themes of death, murder, and violence. If you're uncomfortable with any of these tragic themes, you might want to choose another video.
Man, you love these themes. Nigga giving a warning and all that. Nigga got the sex, money, murders. Like, bro. So now you gonna dress up like the said individuals that you talking about, that you trying to incriminate? This is what you call someone trying to mock what's happening, bro. He's mocking. That's what he's doing. He's literally mocking. That's what he's doing. I'm not. We ain't gotta see no more. This is a little intro to this nonsense. But remember, the day before this video dropped, because this video dropped yesterday evening, right? These were the type of tweets that YoungBoy was posting. He knew that Traveler Rose was out here doing nonsense, bro. He knew. He knew about it. He knew what was going on. He knew. Shorty Nick says he even putting news clips with each body. This is egregious work, champ. Yes, 1000%. Yeah, he knew. He knew. Yo, listen. Traveler Ross is gonna do what he's doing as long as he's allowed to do it. Now, I remember he got confronted over there. I think he got confronted in Las Vegas by Central C's manager. I forgot bro's name. The Central C's manager confronted Traveler Ross in Vegas, and Traveler Ross was trying to act hard because security was there. He was trying to act a little gangster. I'm like, yo, I ain't gonna lie. Bro should have wilded on him. I ain't gonna lie. Like, Traveler Ross, you know how many people want this guy out the picture? I don't think y'all realize. Man. Shorty Nick says he even put in... Oh, no. I just read this. I'm thinking this is a new comment. What the hell? Traveler Ross should have been got dealt with. But people are playing a dangerous game. And as long as this happens, it's only going to get worse. Now, you got to expect somebody like Poetik Flakko, somebody like a Seti Nash to jump on this, because this is the same thing that happened with the Young Thug situation. They painted the narrative that Young Thug was a rat, which he's not a rat, because, again, I'm way more connected in Atlanta than a lot of other people are. Young Thug is not a rat. There was a very, very nasty narrative being painted with audio, and the audio had dropped in 2024. This is old audio y'all got, and nobody was calling Young Thug a rat when that audio originally dropped, but now he's a rat because Traveler Ross, Seti Nash, Poetik Flakko, and other people said so. Whack 100 said so. 6ix9ine says so. He's a rat now. Okay, nobody was speaking that to him before, but now he's a rat. Okay. I'm an 80s baby says Traveler Ross is a nerd who, much like Ak, is only interested in the violent aspects of rap music. Crazy enough, the difference between Ak and Traveler Ross is that Traveler Ross is a goddamn sadist. Akademiks is just a weird pervert. Akademiks is a pervert, and Traveler Ross is a weird sadist. Traveler Ross gets off on people's pain, man. That's just who he is. He gets off on other people's pain. And he enjoys watching street people, you know, or rappers that are in the streets. He enjoys getting them locked up. When he sees them get locked up, it brings joy to his heart. He gets off to it. That's just what he does. And it's been that way when it's come to Traveler Ross. That's not even new for him. It's been this way for years. It's just gotten worse and worse as time progressed. Literally. Mystery Monk paying town goddamn taxes. With $20 in town taxes. When is Traveler Ross going to do a documentary on this one menace named Jason Voorhees? He's stationed out at Camp Crystal Lake and comes out every Friday the 13th. That's a good question, champ. I ain't gonna lie. When is he gonna do that documentary? I want to know how many bodies Jason Voorhees got. It's a good question, champ. How many bodies he got, champ? I think I could do it. I think it's 13, champ. I ain't gonna lie. It might be 13 bodies. You heard? Salute to you for paying them town taxes, keeping the IRS off your back, champ. Yeah, man. Listen. Traveler Ross is a problem, bro. Traveler Ross is insanely problematic, bro. And it's been this way. Why in the world? And mind you, YB is minding his goddamn business. He's not bothering anybody. But you feel the need to go and try to create this documentary where you're pinning him to 19 bodies that you think he could have possibly been connected to, right? Because you have 19 news clips of people getting smoked. That doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense. Monk also says, so he's in the back of the line is what you're saying. YoungBoy's ahead of him. Pretty much, champ. 1000%. What's your name is user DM? Damn, that's a crazy. I guess you don't got a name. I'm gonna just say user. His tour numbers are very solid. 70 million is great. Crazy. Kendrick just passed 360 million with the same amount of shows. That's good for him, I guess. That's good for Dot, I guess. But yeah, man. This is weird. And you're gonna see a lot of people piggybacking off of this content, trying to paint YoungBoy as a murderer and all this nonsense. And then this is where the RICO comes in, because then soon enough the feds just start marching in and they kick down YoungBoy's door and they lock up everybody, and anybody associated with YoungBoy also gets locked up in the process because of Trap La Rose and other people who may piggyback off of this and push the narrative. You feel me what I'm saying? Let me get you out of here. You got Frank in your mouth. Yo, listen. I don't know where you guys come from. I'm not even going to address you. I'm just going to get you out of here because you're a weirdo. You're weird, bro. Like, what the hell is this guy doing anything? Get out of here, man. Like, where did you come from? And y'all see, and if y'all in the chat, y'all see exactly what I'm talking about. I'm not even going to mention this bozo. You're a bozo, bro. You're going. You're weird. Nigga came in here to swallow Frank that's not even around, bro. Like, talk about somebody who ain't, this thing got nothing to do with, bro. We're not even talking about this person, and you're mentioning this person and then using these corny ass lines from whatever bars he used against Drake and all that. Like, get the hell out of here, bro. It's y'all weird. I swear on everything I love, I ain't ever mentioning nothing that got to do with that individual again. Respectfully, I'm good. Yeah, the bro don't even got a username. You just came in swallowing. You came in. You got ghost gel in your gums, champ. Your gums are filled with baby mud, champ. Your gums are salivating with baby mud attachments, by the way. Did you know that, champ? Yeah. Make sure you exhale all that air in Kenny's jeans while you're at it. Yeah, go exhale that air in Kenny's denims. Okay? Y'all niggas is weird, man. Go get a goddamn life. Do something, bro. This is sauce. Mayor. Like, yo, get away from me before things get nasty. I'm gonna tell you that right now. Get out of here, bro. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. Trap La Rose, you're goddamn weirdo and something's wrong with you. Like, I'm gonna show y'all this again. This is what I'm gonna go back to. This is what I'm going back to. Bro being dressed up like he's a sex money murder member. Like, only real New Yorkers know what this green flag means. Real New Yorkers know what this green flag represents. Maybe I shouldn't say real New Yorkers. For us New Yorkers that understand gang culture and are familiar with very prominent gangs or formerly prominent gangs in the city of New York that have migrated elsewhere, they migrated to the South and etc. Some of these New York gangs have become pretty big. Yeah, especially, yes, Shorty Nick, especially in Atlanta. A lot of these UBN, United Blood Nation sets that was created in New York City have migrated to the South, especially in Atlanta, 1000%. That's why there's such a crazy connection between New York and Atlanta. Most of it is gang related, but that's neither here nor there. Trap La Rose, I think you're sus. How old is this guy's? Like 27 or something. Bro got a Chucky doll with a green. Like this is nerd stuff. This is what nerds do. Nerds like this type of weird stuff. They think this is cool. They think they cool. Said, look, I'm doing a video on YoungBoy and I have on this flag that he wears, and like, you're weird. You're weird, bro. You're not cool. You look sus. And you have an obsession with people passing away. All you do, this is all the content you do. It's literally a documentary trying to destroy another rapper. It's disgusting. But like I said earlier, the feds use these things for leverage when they create recalls, bro. Do you know how many rappers have already been locked up due to Trap La Ross? This wouldn't be the first or last time, but we can already predict the RICO in the future based on videos like this. Videos like this is what create these types of nasty cases to transpire. It's just what it is, man. It's unfortunate, but it is true. You dig? Mystery Monk says making a living off of Black Death as a white man seems like a real bad joke. I have more respect if this guy just became a cop. Truth be told, he's just a voyeur, man. He's a voyeur. He's into voyeurism. And he's basically just eating off of, you know, people passing away in the hip hop. He's eating off of street culture, black street culture to be exact, because there's other street cultures. There's white street culture. I think people be forgetting, because people believe that pale folks are just not doing anything crazy when they are. You literally live in a bubble if you think that pale folks ain't involved in nonsense. Trust me, it's more common than you would like to believe. But people want to strictly believe that black people are just the violent ones and all this nonsense. It's everybody, bro. There's all types of nonsense going on with every group of people, bro. There's Chinese gangs, Indian gangs. I don't even like to do race-based things because I'm not a person that gets involved in that nonsense. But it's just funny to me that, you know, people just assume that nonsense is just going on with black folks. It's not true. But when it comes to this, to me, it's just a very nasty fetishization of just street culture, specifically in the hip hop world. And this guy thrives on that stuff. This guy has a tattoo of King Von on his leg as if King Von is a trophy. He has the bodies, the number of bodies next to the tattoo. Like, bro, you have a King Von tattoo on your leg. He talks about it as if it's like some type of in memory or dedication to King Von, paying a tribute to King Von. No, champ. You are very happy and get off on that man losing his life. When King Von lost his life, champ, you were definitely incredibly excited when you heard that news. Let's be real. You were very excited, champ. You dig? I am an 80s baby says, like I said, he's fascinated by black street culture. It's on a nasty level though. It's very much on a dark level of fascination because it goes a bit beyond. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't know what type of weird whatever nonsense he's into. We have an idea, but we don't truly know, like, for real. Like, bro gets off on people losing their lives and stuff like that. He loves to inflict pain, meaning he enjoys getting people locked up. And that's what he does. He did. But gang, this is nasty. And I don't advise anybody to watch this documentary because it ain't even worth it. The feds are going to watch it, though. The feds are going to watch it. You heard? They going to watch it. You know? That's just what it is. Shorty Nick says, this gives me the maggot vibes with an F. He said if maggot didn't start with an M but an F, that it gives you those vibes. That makes sense. That makes plenty of sense. Mystery Monk says there's a lot of crazy palm-colored individuals. Oh, that's 1,000% true. That's a fact, you ain't lying. But gang, do the man a favor, man. Make sure you smash the like. Make sure you share the video. Let me know what y'all think in the comment section. Hit that hype button when this video is over. Up the hype points. But we're going to have more content later. I just had to cover this because I don't think anybody else realized that NBA YoungBoy was talking about deleting himself just a day before this entire video was released. You dig? But let me know how y'all feel in the comment section, gang. Also, subscribe to the main second channel. Also, join the Discord. The Discord link is actually in the chat, man. If you ain't in the mayor's Discord, you might want to join. Make sure you follow the rules in there, because you will get kicked if you start whining. All right? Hit that link. Link is in the chat. But one more thing before we get all the way up out of here. Are you ready, gang? It's the mayor. The one and only New York Mayor, F. Mom Donnie, and you're rocking with the 10 favorite Showface news. It's Big Gotham. You already know it's the 10 versus everybody at all times. Hit that like, share the video. I'm out of here, gang. Salute.